Won 4 in a row. Big victory on Monday night, 27-7 over the Chicago Bears, and they've done it with the league's top-rated offense.
Well, there was a time when the success of this Lions offense rested totally on the shoulders of Barry Sanders. No longer is that the case, especially when you have two, not one, but two 1,000-yard receivers in Herman Moore and Brett Perryman. Scott Mitchell has a threat on either side, and Barry Sanders will be Barry Sanders. He has his 1,322 yards with 3 games left. Then I mentioned Scott Mitchell. He's the guy that leads this group. You talk to head coach Wayne Font. He says Scott Mitchell, his best days are still ahead of him. He is just starting to scratch the surface. He is not only breaking Lion team records, but he's having a career year.
And the quarterback situation on the Oilers side is not as clear-cut. Number 1 draft pick Steve McNair out of Alcorn State is waiting in the wings. He's played only 4 snaps this year. He will be the backup quarterback today to Chris Chandler. Chris has suffered from mononucleosis the last 2 weeks. He says he's all right and will get the start.
Well, first of all, with Aaron McNair, he has taken plenty of reps this week, so head coach Jeff Fisher is comfortable with him going into the football game. But if anybody can come in and play a football game after not practicing all week like Chandler has, he's the guy that can do it. Week 4 against Cincinnati, not one snap during the week. He goes 23 of 26, 4 touchdown passes.
And we'll be back with the Lions and the Oilers after these messages from your local Fox station. The Detroit Lions have won the toss, and they will receive. The Lions at 7-6. Wayne Fonts, the winningest coach in Lions history. 0-2 lifetime against the Houston Oilers. Lions coming off Monday night's 27-7 victory in Chicago. Oilers defeated in Pittsburgh 21-7. Al Del Greco will get things started. The Oilers, the only team in the NFL without a touchback this year. Number 21 is Alan Williams. Number 34, Ron Rivers. The opening kickoff is played by Rivers at the 12. Rivers out across the 35-yard line. So the Lions will start out 1st and 10, led by Scott Mitchell, who has tied the Lions team record 26 touchdown passes. Only Brett Favre and Warren Moon have thrown more this season. The men protecting Scott Mitchell, Brown, the 5-time Pro Bowler, Wydell, Glover, Lutz, and Moss. Barry Sanders, second leading rusher in the NFL, with the 3 wide receivers, Perryman, Morton, and Moore. The tight end is rookie David Sloan. 1st and 10 Lions from their own 37. Mitchell on 1st down. The pass is complete. Herman Moore, he fumbles, and it's recovered by the Oilers. Number 58, Joe Bowden, recovering the fumble by Herman Moore. So on the first play from scrimmage, the Lions have turned it over.
Kenny, that's one of the things you have to watch. You have a wide receiver that's as big and as strong as Herman Moore, Chris Dishman with the coverage, but then he's not satisfied with just making the catch. He tries to get extra yardage, the strip, the recovery by Houston, and that's what this defense needs. They need the turnovers. They need to keep this number 1 offense off the football field.
We spoke with Oilers linebacker Eddie Robinson on Friday, and he told us that the coaches have emphasized stripping the football, and they lead the NFL with 34 takeaways. So Herman Moore fumbles on the first play. Chris Chandler and the Oilers from their own 45. And the pass is incomplete to the tight end, Frank Wycheck. Chandler, as we mentioned in the open, has suffered from a form of mononucleosis the past 2 weeks. Last week against Pittsburgh, played the first half, sat out the second. Hopkins, Matthews, Stepnowski, Donnelly, and Eatman. Rodney Thomas, the rookie, along with Todd McNair, Jeffries, Chris Sanders out of Ohio State, and Wycheck. 2nd down and 10. The Lions' 45-yard line. This is Rodney Thomas. Gains 1 on 2nd down, so it will be 3rd and 9. The tackle made by Benny Blades. The Lions went to the 4-3 this year. And the new assistant defensive head coach John Teerling. Scroggins with Porcher, Thomas, the former Viking, and rookie Luther Ellis. The linebacking core, Mike Johnson, Chris Spielman, who's led the team in tackles 7 straight years, along with Hayworth, Raymond, Clay, Blades, and McNeil. 3rd down and 9. The Lions 44. 3 wide receivers set for the Oilers. Long snap. Chandler. And the pass is complete on the near side. Haywood Jeffries, second all-time Oilers receiver. Gain of 8, looks to be just shy of the first down.
Kenny, we had a great listen to the veteran Chris Chandler snap count there. He went on about a 5 count trying to get that Lion defensive line that is just, they have their ears pinned back. They just want to rush up the field. A lot of discipline by that front group of the Lions.
Chris Chandler, you mentioned week 4 against Cincinnati. He did not practice all week due to the injured shoulder. Had a terrific game. And this week, not many reps as well. 4th down and 1. Oilers go for it. And they have the first down. Marion Butts, the longtime San Diego Charger, played with New England last year. Butts with a terrific 3rd and 1 percentage, 13 of 14. Gets the first down on 4th and 1.
Let's make it 14 of 15 as he trots off the field, says my job's done for that situation. I'll be waiting for the next one.
So the Oilers have the first down on the Lions 33. Detroit received the opening kickoff, and wide receiver Herman Moore fumbled on the first play from scrimmage following his 102nd reception of the year. Chandler goes far side, has a receiver Jeffries once again. So Haywood Jeffries with his second catch, and once again it is good for 8 yards.
Kenny, I think the big question right now is how is Chris Chandler's stamina? As you saw him right there before he looked to the sideline, he had his hands on his knees, his head down. Being that sick for as long as he has, he's lost 10 pounds. It has to affect his wind, his physical condition. So don't be surprised to see Steve McNair early in this game.
2nd down and 2. Steve Hendrickson has joined Thomas in the Oilers' backfield. With Hendrickson leading the way, this is Thomas.
Thomas with the 24.
Looks to be short. Chris Spielman made the tackle, the 8-year pro out of Ohio State.
The throwback linebacker. I mean, those are, you could put him in a class with Nobis and Butkus and Huff and all those guys. That's the type of player that Chris Spielman is. He's out there all the time. In fact, talking to Herb Patera, one of the defensive coaches, he said, this is one of the guys defensively you hate to take out during the course of a football game. As you see right there, he's just tough, physical, but there's matchups that you have to pull him out once in a while.
3rd down and 1. Whitecheck in motion. Here's Marion Butts once again. And he has the first down. So 2 carries for Marion Butts and 2 Oiler first downs.
It didn't take Marion Butts long to get back in there. It's just a matter of grabbing the football, checking for creases, and almost made a nice move to get over the defender. Right here you see the offensive line does a nice job of just taking those defensive linemen where they want to go. They stretch it, and then he cuts it back a little bit towards the guard once he starts out to the tackle. There's an opening, nice yardage.
Down to the Lions' 18-yard line. Chandler under pressure, and the pass is picked off by Mike Johnson. It was deflected by Willie Clay, and then Johnson able to hang on, his first interception this season.
Main reason why that football was thrown so high, number 98, Henry Thomas of the Detroit Lions. You see him cocked right there. He's going to come completely around the defensive end and put the hit on Chris Chandler, and that is not what you want on your quarterback when he's sick. Right there, just a clean shot as he comes completely around Tracy Scroggins, a deflection by Willie Clay, the interception by Mike Johnson. Back-to-back turnovers, first the Lions, now the Oilers turn it over.
So a sloppy start as Barry Sanders takes the handoff out to the 33-yard line, a gain of 5. So Barry is now 1 yard short of 10,000 during his 7-year career.
What can you say about Barry Sanders? The guy is just an unreal running back. He does things that you just look at. I'm sure he's not aware when he's doing them until he watches them on tape. I mean, he comes up with a new move every time he carries the football.
Here's Sanders once again, and there it is, 10,000 yards and more.
Didn't take long. In fact, I was reading an article this week, and Broderick Thomas, in fact, Broderick Thomas played for the Buccaneers, now plays for the Vikings, was a teammate of Sanders last year. He said he is like no other, or he's like tackling no other running back in the NFL. He said he's like a liquid out there, finding every crack, every opening. He flows the daylight, and right there, if there's a crack at all, he's going to find it and hit it.
Liquid running back, Barry Sanders.
Just oozes right through those holes.
Only Eric Dickerson reached 10,000 yards in 7 seasons. Moving on the line, and our first flags of this afternoon's game. Our referee is Bernie Kukar.
Ball start, number 73 on the offense prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Now, what did Wayne Fonts tell us about? He said there was a time where they'd run the same play like 12 times, and he said if you looked at the 12 times they ran that play, not one looked the same. That's just the creativity that a Barry Sanders has when he's running the football.
Following the penalties, first down and 15. Mitchell will go to the air. The intended receiver, Brett Perryman. Darrell Lewis on the coverage. So Barry Sanders, the 10th in the history of the National Football League to reach 10,000 yards.
Not in bad company there. I tell you, as a former offensive lineman, I would have not minded blocking for any one of those 10. That would have been a treat.
Comes in second in the NFL to Emmitt Smith, over 1,300 yards. He's on pace for 1,627. Would be his second best season total. Mitchell steps up, looks downfield. Herman Moore first down and more to the Oilers 27, gain of 43 yards.
You know, it's tough enough to cover a guy like Herman Moore, but when you fall on the turf, as right here, this is a tremendous challenge for number 28, Chris Dishman. He has him right there. He's looking to this inside, reading the quarterback, but when Herman Moore makes his cut, he stumbles and falls on the turf, allowing Herman Moore to make the catch. Like I said, it's tough enough when you're on your feet. You can't be on the ground covering this guy.
Or the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, 14 receptions Monday against the Bears. Brett Perryman with catch number 92 on the season, 6-yard gain. Right now, let's go to Hollywood. This McDonald's game break with James Brown.
Hey, Kenny, congratulations to Barry Sanders on his accomplishment. Another dangerous weapon. Well, Jerry Rice had dropped the previous touchdown pass for sure. Young goes to Derek LaVille. Same result. Touchdown, San Fran over Carolina. Back to Kenny and Anthony.
The 49ers clinch the division title if they beat Carolina and Atlanta loses. So the 49ers off to the quick start. Here's Sanders. Down to the 18. Gain of 5 more yards.
Well, you talk to the Oilers. They did not want that to happen. They said you have to keep Barry Sanders between the tackles, although they made a nice play on there with their pursuit angles, their quickness. They want him when he runs the football because he bounces it outside so nicely. They want him to keep him in between the tackles, and head coach Jeff Fisher said it all depends on how we play the cutback.
Here's Sanders, turns the corner. Across the 15, pushed out of bounds at the Oilers' 13-yard line. You know, we talked about Sanders and Moore and Perryman, but how about quarterback Scott Mitchell, who has tied the Lions record? 26 touchdown passes in one season. Bobby Lane set the record back in 1951.
You talk to his teammates, you ask him about Scott Mitchell, and the first thing they mention is confidence. He has tremendous confidence running this offense.
This is second year with the Lions after coming over from Miami. Play action, Mitchell to Moore. Touchdown Lions. Herman Moore on the 13-yard reception from Scott Mitchell. And there's the team record, his 27th touchdown pass this season.
That's what a Barry Sanders will do for an offensive football team. They were effective running the football. They faked the toss to the right side, and Mitchell comes out to the left, and Herman Moore is wide open for the touchdown. But that was all set up by the effectiveness. Right there, you saw the token handoff, and nobody around Herman Moore when he makes the catch, and he takes it the rest of the way.
Herman Moore's 13th touchdown reception this year. That is just 2 shy of the team record. Jason Hansen, now 37 of 37 this season on PATs. 7-0 Lions. Not a bad drive. Sanders over 10,000 yards. And Mitchell, team record 27th touchdown pass.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By AT&T, your true choice. And by IBM, solutions for a small planet.
Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz from Houston, where Scott Mitchell has thrown his 27th touchdown pass this season, breaking Bobby Lane's 44-year-old record. Back deep for the Oilers. Mel Gray, who spent the last 6 seasons with the Lions, set numerous NFL records, scored 3 kick return touchdowns just last year for Detroit. Gray takes the kickoff at the 8. Lions say not this time. Out to the 34. Return of 26 yards. Back from the Astrodome in just a moment.
Kenny, the key on this play is to get number 58, Joe Bowden, to read run over here with Sanders going this way and to clear this guy out here. It works beautifully because when you fake a pitch to Sanders, the defense wants to get over and tackle him just enough to let Herman Moore go out in the flat, catch the football, and take it in for 6. Just like you draw it up.
Yes, imagine having enough offensive weapons to be able to employ Barry Sanders as the decoy.
That makes it nice.
Coaches would love that problem. Rodney Thomas up the middle on first down, wrapped up by Benny Blades. 8 of 9 yards for Thomas, the rookie out of Texas A&M.
Guys up front, number 74, Bruce Matthews, Hopkins, Stepnoski. Why not go to that side? As we'll see, they do a nice job. They just push them over. Again, it's not a matter of just coming off the ball and blowing those defensive linemen off the line. When they see the running back going that way, they react to the outside. You use their momentum, push them to the outside. That creates the hole.
It's easy running behind a pair of Pro Bowlers, right?
That makes it really nice.
2nd down and 1 after the 9-yard gain. Thomas once again. Chris Spielman in on the stop. First down for the Lions. Both teams turn the ball over on their opening drives. Lions take the 7-0 lead, and now the Oilers keeping it on the ground with the rookie Rodney Thomas. Timeout called with 5:03 to go in this first quarter. Chris Spielman and the Lions leading by a touchdown. 13 yards from Scott Mitchell to Herman Moore. The Lions do, in fact, have the first down.
That was a great shot of Chris Spielman with the eye black underneath, the sweat coming down on the face. I mean, that's just a perfect picture of a middle linebacker in the NFL.
You get great pictures with certain guys. Mike Singletary comes to mind, Jack Del Rio of the Vikings, and Chris Spielman has to rank up there.
He sure does. You know, you mentioned Singletary. Those eyes just piercing through that face mask.
First down Oilers from their own 44. Thomas met immediately by Mike Johnson, longtime rival of yours, dating back to his days in Cleveland.
And he's getting better and better. You mentioned that we had to try to block that guy up near the lake there up in northern Ohio when he was with the Cleveland Browns. As you see right there, already over 100 tackles. You know, he can come up and he can, you know, you talk about linebackers, and a lot of times you either have guys with speed or guys that are known for, you know, stuffing the run. You know, a guy like this, he has enough quickness to cover people, but he can stuff the run also.
And he picked off Chandler earlier this quarter. Chandler on 2nd and 9. Pass complete on the near side. This is Todd McNair, but he loses yardage. Tracy Scroggins made the tackle, loss of 3 for Todd McNair, who claims that he is related to rookie quarterback Steve McNair, although Steve said he's not so sure.
He kind of hesitated when we asked him that question about Todd McNair. But he said, you never know. I mean, there might be some background right there as you see Steve McNair with his arms folded right in front.
In fact, Todd McNair's answer was, well, we have the same big schnoz, so we must be related. That's according to Todd.
And Steve said, maybe somewhere in the background we might be kin. We don't know.
Todd would love a share of that paycheck. Chandler on 3rd and 12. Frank Wycheck, the tight end, over the top, down to the 28 of the Lions. A gain of 30 yards. Wycheck's been a pleasant surprise this year. Former Washington Redskin, his 28th reception.
That was a nice job. It started by that offensive line protecting Chris Chandler. You mentioned Mark Stepnoski at center, Bruce Matthews. You see there the stunning Lions. Thomas coming around trying to get through. But Frank Wycheck just finds that seam right behind Mike Johnson, the linebacker in front of the safeties. It's a nice catch.
First down on Detroit's 28-yard line as Chandler hands it off to Romney Thomas. Another hold up the middle, down to the 24, a gain of 4.
You know, it's interesting. You watch this offense this week here against the Lions, and as we viewed last week's game against the Steelers, last week it was a matter of scoring points. Their defense gave them plenty of opportunities. Here they come out the first time. The defense gives them an opportunity, but they don't score. So really, it's a matter of them scoring some points with all the turnovers, as Kenny, as you mentioned earlier, all the turnovers that they create.
Chandler on 2nd and 6 goes far side. Haywood Jeffries inside the 20. Gain of 6 yards. Ball looks to be spotted just inside the first down marker, and a timeout for measurement is called for.
Haywood Jeffries, another one of these guys that's been around for a while in his 9th year. You know, it's interesting coming back into the dome here after playing the Oilers for 13 years. You see some Lion fans.
You know, I knew Chris was sick, but he lost a lot of weight.
And he's pretty pale, too.
He's at 10 pounds.
That's what we were told.
Well, it is a Houston Oilers first down. Chandler off to a good start, 5 for 7. Moving the Oilers downfield.
Doing an excellent job, and the play calling has been really nice. They've been mixing it up, going with the run, going with the short passes, and then they found the seam with Wycheck down the middle.
And Jeffries on that reception went over the 6,000-yard mark in his NFL career. Chris Sanders in motion. 1st and 10 from the 18. The pitch back goes to Thomas. Flags on the play. It is on the Lions.
On the defense. They did a nice job getting over and making Thomas turn it back. Their pursuit angles were there.
Illegal use of hands. Number 97 on the defense. Hit to the face. That's a 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Maybe that's how Tracy Scroggins got some penetration. A little help from his hand. See the 97 right there. You see it right in the face. It's not just a matter of putting the hand up there, but he has a tight hold and keeps it there for a while. Brad Hopkins, the left tackle, a lot of times defenders will feel that and take it off, but not that time.
3 wide receivers. 1st and 10 from the 13. Quick slant. The catch is made by the rookie out of Ohio State, Chris Sanders, 3rd-round draft pick, who's already scored 8 touchdowns this year.
And that's what you need from your cornerbacks also. That was a nice throw, a nice catch. But Corey Raymond making a quick break on that, because he doesn't want Sanders to beat him deep. You see him backpedaling, and the key to stopping these type of passes is either playing tight on the guy or breaking on the football and not allowing them to gain yardage after the catch.
Munoz has enjoyed a terrific last 3 games with 5 touchdowns during that stretch. Gained 4 yards on first down. This is Thomas. The hesitation squirms his way inside. And that should do it for this first quarter. Very fast moving first quarter for Coach Jeff Fisher and the Oilers. Each team turned the ball over on their first possession. And then the Lions reach the end zone. Detroit has now scored in 20 consecutive quarters. Mitchell to Moore from 13 yards out. So that does it for the first quarter from the Astrodome. With the score, Wayne Funtz and the Lions leading the Oilers 7-0. Welcome back to the Astrodome. Lions leading the Oilers by the score of 7-0. Kenny Albert with Anthony Munoz, and Anthony Chandler did throw the 1 interception, but he does not seem to be suffering from the effects of mono.
He really doesn't. He's moving around there well in the backfield. Really, the only time he got hit was by Henry Thomas. He cannot afford to get any more of those hits.
And on the other side, Scott Mitchell keeps on rolling. 13-yard touchdown pass, his 27th TD strike this season, new team record. First play of the second quarter. Chandler lobs it up, and he has the touchdown. Haywood Jeffries, his 7th touchdown this year on the 9-yard lob from Chandler. So the Oilers to the scoreboard. First play of the second quarter.
For throwing that ball so well, he did have some pressure. Once again, it comes from number 98, Henry Thomas. You see him make an outside move on Kevin Donnelly. Just as he hits Chris Chandler, enough time to get the ball away, and you couldn't ask for a better throw to Haywood Jeffries than that one there. There wasn't a whole lot left in that end zone.
Rich Camarillo is the holder. Al Del Greco, who has connected on 65 consecutive point-afters, makes it 66. So we are tied at 7. First play of the second quarter. 9-yard touchdown pass from Chris Chandler to Haywood Jeffries.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
Tonight, Terry Bradshaw will host a 1-hour special on Fox. Find out which one of your favorite athletes will become part of sports history. Don't miss the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year Award tonight at 7, 6 Central on Fox. So, Terry Bradshaw, let's see. Yesterday, he was in San Diego. Today, in the studio.
Is that double mileage?
And you're telling me he's hosting this Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year tonight?
Racking up those frequent flyer miles.
He must be the recipient of the award.
He must be. I tell you, he is everywhere. Everywhere you look.
Coast to coast. Ron Rivers takes the kickoff. Up to the 30, across the 30. So a 19-yard return for Alan Williams. Back to the Astrodome, tied at 7 in a moment. Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz in Houston. The Oilers have tied the score on the touchdown reception by Haywood Jeffries.
Well, what happens here is Haywood Jeffrey comes in motion, and they put several guys in the zone, and they put the burden on the defensive secondary to make a choice. Which guy am I going to cover? There's a couple guys in that zone. He doesn't make the right decision. You see there's like 3 guys in that zone. Right there you see it. Just puts it right in the corner of the end zone. And the defender is caught between the 2 receivers. Right there you see Chris Chandler, who's off to a nice start.
Now the Lions take over on their own 33-yard line. Mitchell pump fakes, escapes pressure. Now looks downfield, and the pass is incomplete. The intended receiver was Brent Perryman. Right now, let's head to Hollywood. This McDonald's game break with James Brown.
Hey, Kenny, Emmitt Smith has more rushing touchdowns than any other NFL team. This is his 23rd of the year, dragging cornerback Bobby Taylor into the end zone. Dallas leads at 7-3 in the first. Back to Kenny and Anthony.
Thanks, JB. Should the Cowboys win, they would clinch the NFC East. 2-game lead over Philadelphia, both teams losing last week. Second down and 10. Lions from their own 33-yard line. That pass sails about 10 yards away from Herman Moore, so it will be third down and 10.
Reason for that high throw? You know that the Houston Oilers are a blitzing football team. Right there, Blaine Bishop came right in Scott Mitchell's face, forcing him to throw high, and that's one of the things that they said. They said, we have to get in his face, we have to pressure him, force him to make bad throws just like they did right there. Not a bad guy to bring on a blitz. Blaine Bishop, the guy benches over 400 pounds, and he's 5'9", just under 200 pounds.
There's Mitchell over the top. Deflected off the right hand of Herman Moore. He looks around for the officials. There have been 11 pass interference calls against Herman Moore the last 5 weeks, but he does not get the call there.
And what did head coach Jeff Fisher tell us? We're going to put Chris Dishman one-on-one on Herman Moore. We feel that he can do the job. He might get his 1 or 2 pass interference. Right there, you saw his right hand on Herman Moore's arm, but no call.
First punt of the game for Mark Royals, who...
That is a smart move.
Back from the Astrodome in just a moment. 40-yard punt by Royals. And Anthony, I was just wondering, where did you go for lunch yesterday?
Right here, and I thought maybe we could work something out where you and I would have some of that in the booth today, but no such luck.
I was told it will be shipped in at halftime.
Oh, I gotta get my bib on.
Big bib.
Big bib.
7-7 score. Oilers from their own 25. Chandler to Sanders. Another completion for Chris Chandler, who is now 8 of his first 10.
And he might have lost 10 pounds. He might have not practiced all week. But there's something about game day adrenaline that makes you forget about that. And it looks like that adrenaline is taken over for Chris Chandler.
Well, as Jeff Fisher told us, Chris can play in the Oilers offense without repetitions.
He says he knows the offense as well, if not better, than Jerry Rome. That's quite a compliment.
And they were together, Chandler and offensive coordinator Jerry Rome, in Arizona. So he has played in this offense before. Thomas on 2nd and 3. Another first down for the Oilers. Yes, Jerry Rome, the offensive coordinator, who worked with Troy Aikman during his rookie season with the Dallas Cowboys, and Troy said he does not know how he would have gotten through that initial year without Jerry Rome. And Chris Chandler says that Jerry has become a father, brother, and best friend rolled into one. They play pool together, they golf, they play basketball, and most importantly, have become very comfortable with this offense.
Right here you see Jerry Rome with the cap on.
And a tip of the cap to Chris Chandler for coming out and competing despite what he has gone through over the last 2 weeks. Suffering from a form of mononucleosis. The Oilers doctors at first did not know exactly what was wrong. In fact, the first 2 mono tests came up negative.
There's no question about it. A tip to it. Right here you see, with snaps 60%, without snaps 85%. You don't show too many guys that, practice time, because then they'll want to go throughout the week without practicing, just playing a football game.
Yes, as you mentioned, 23 of 26 week 4 against Cincinnati, following a week of no practice due to the injured shoulder. Chandler on 2nd and 11. Pass was deflected by Antonio London, the third-year man out of Alabama.
Antonio London, pretty much a linebacker, but slash pass rush specialist. In fact, in the last 4 games, has 5 sacks. Right here you see him going against big Irv Eatman. Can't beat him to the outside, so the next best thing, if you don't get penetration, watch the quarterback when he starts to throw the ball, get up there, get your hands up, try to bat it down just as he did there.
Third down and 11. 3 wide receivers set. Tight end Whitecheck in motion. Chandler rolling right. Out of the pocket. First down across midfield. Derek Russell in his 5th season out of Arkansas, a gain of 18 yards.
We talked about Jerry Rome. You give him credit for this play because he saw there's been a little pressure. He hadn't been able to throw the football over Antonio London's hands. The next best thing, take and roll him out, get him away from the pressure, give him a better view of the playing field. Right there, he hits Derek Russell for a nice catch. Look at Henry Thomas knows where he's going, but it's just a little too far for the big guy to get to him. You see right there, he just tries to reach out, touches. I mean, that's what a lot of defensive linemen do. If you can't hit them, just make sure you touch them every time.
On first down, Chandler with time, goes far side. It's Haywood Jeffries once again. Dives across inside the 40.
Right now for a Jeffries down, not getting up real fast. You see him kind of tell he's in pain there. But for a football team that over the years has really been, after Warren Moon left, has been known for their defense, right now they're doing a tremendous job in this first half, mixing things up. You see head coach Jeff Fisher doesn't look real excited about what's going on, but I'm sure he has to be thrilled with his offense, the way they're moving the football.
Former teammate of yours at USC, did he get excited back then?
Oh yeah, he was an exciting type of guy.
And there is only the 4th incompletion thrown by Chandler as he was under intense pressure from Chris Spielman. There has been much written in the press this week, Anthony, about the #1 draft pick, Steve McNair. Many media members and fans wondering if and when McNair would get his first National Football League start. He did take 4 snaps in an earlier game against Cleveland. And with the Oilers 5-8, there is still a glimmer of hope, albeit not a big one in the playoff race. But Jeff Fisher feels that as long as they are still in it, he'll go with the veteran Chris Chandler. Wycheck, as Blades tries to wrestle him to the ground, could not. And play was blown dead before the ball was knocked loose.
What the Lions are doing right now, Chris Chandler once again on his back. He gets the ball away, but the Lions are going to pressure him, try to hit him as they come with the blitz from this side. And just as he throws the football, he is hit right there, untouched. Like I said, he makes the completion, but in his state, physically, those are taking a lot bigger toll than if he came into this football game healthy.
And it is 4th down and 1. They went for it and were successful earlier on 4th and 1. Marion Butts moves the pile, and a penalty flag is thrown. He has enough for the first down.
Lions clapping. Good chance there's going to be a holding on that when you get all those bodies in there. A hand to the face. But that line did move. Not only did the lineman move it, but then all of a sudden big Marion Butts
Illegal use of
punched it right
hands.
in there.
Number 88 on the offense. Hands to the face. That's a 10-yard penalty.
Illegal use of the hands called on the tight end, Roderick Lewis.
Like I was saying, they got tremendous push, but he does put that hand into the face. You see right there, number 88, right in the middle of your screen, and you can see that the head going back right there, and that's because Lewis has his hand right up into the face mask.
Rich Camarillo will punt it away. Willie Clay in single safety. And the fair catch is called for on the 18-yard line. Tied at 7 from the Astrodome. We'll be back in a moment. And the Saints next week on Fox. For the Lions, they are still in the playoff hunt. 1st and 10 from the 18. Barry Sanders around left tackle for 3 more yards. And how about the NFC playoff picture? Dallas, Green Bay, and San Francisco all in position to clinch their divisions today. Minnesota winning yesterday, the Eagles trailing Dallas. And if the Lions win their last 3, they will make the playoffs.
Type of start they had, and a lot of things go into their start. Talking to the coaches, they're talking about, their defensive guys moving linebackers to defensive linemen, so there was an adjustment period there. Here's
Mitchell on 2nd down, and he is taken down Darrell Lewis with his first sack of the season coming from the right corner.
Darrell Lewis, he's there to take down a quarterback that's almost twice his size. And they've been getting a little pressure with the guys up front. But right there, you got to get a better block from Sloan, the tight end. He made a little bit of an effort, but he didn't make a decent block there. And of course, he's right there in his face, and Mitchell can't make the throw, and Lewis makes the sack.
Third down and 16. Mitchell under pressure again, steps up, heaves it downfield, and has the receiver for the first down. Brett Perryman into Houston Oilers territory.
Kenny, there's no question about it that the Oilers are getting pressure on Scott Mitchell. Right there, he just threw the football up and said, Brett, you go after it and get it. You see right here, he looks to his right, goes back to his left. He sees that there's no defender close. Fans booing. I think he's out of bounds. I didn't really see that there at the end.
Well, a gain of 41 yards from Mitchell to Perryman. First down on the Houston 47. Mitchell sees something he did not like. He attempted to call timeout as the play clock ran down to 0.
That's exactly what happened.
And the Lions are called for the delay of game. Mitchell did not call timeout in time.
We'll take another look at the reception that they gave him, and we'll see if he did get both feet in the field of play. Making a one. Nope, he did not get 2 feet inside the field of play. That was no catch, but the official gave it to him.
Now the Lions push back. Here's Sanders. He faked the reverse to Johnny Morton. And the Lions lose 3 yards. You know, the amazing stat about Barry Sanders last year, Anthony, over 1,800 yards, despite the fact that he had 51 carries on the season for negative yardage.
When you have a back like Barry Sanders and the type of running game they have, those things are going to happen. But because he is such a fantastic running back, they're going to continue to give him the ball, continue to give him the ball. Eventually, he's going to hit that crack, and he's going to gain the positive yardage.
6 carries, 27 yards today. This is second down and 18 as Mitchell hits Perryman this time. Definitely gets 2 feet down inbounds.
No question about that one. That ball was thrown right between the numbers as Perryman comes up limping a little bit after catching one for 17 yards. See him right there, hobbling. The offensive line doing a super job of protection. You see Antonio, I'm sorry, that's not, you see Craig Vesey, they're going against Lomas Brown, coming over from the defensive tackle position. Brown doing a job on that defensive lineman.
On third down and 1, Sanders hit for a loss again. Michael Barrow, the first one in, as they hold the Lions on 3rd and 1.
What you're looking at with those Oiler linebackers, you see guys that have a lot of speed, and with that type of defensive scheme that they run, that's what you want from your backers. Of course, Jeff Fisher from the Buddy Ryan defensive mold with the 46 defense, the pressure defense. You need those backers that can hit those holes quickly as they do right there.
Now remember, Mark Royals kept it away from Gray on the last punt. And this time he is forced to call for the fair catch at his own 14-yard line. 27-yard punt by Royals, but he pins the Oilers at their own 14. Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz back in Houston. A look at, Anthony, your former teammate with Cincinnati, Rodney Holman.
In fact, I lined up next to that guy for 11 years in Cincinnati.
And our Aflac trivia question today, Rodney will tie the NFL record for most games played by a tight end with 210. Whose record will he tie?
You know, one thing due to that streak has been the conditioning that he puts himself through, not only the offseason, but during the season.
Here's Rodney Thomas on first down. Of course, he he was forced to keep up with your conditioning back with the Bengals.
Well, it was interesting you mentioned that. On Mondays after football games, we would do our striders or our sprints, and Rodney and I would go out. Of course, I couldn't keep up with him, but we would, at times I would try to push him, but it was mostly the other way. He would push me as we would do a little distance work.
1 yard gain on first down, 2nd and 9 with 5 minutes to go. This first half tied at 7. Chandler's pass complete. Chris Sanders out across the 25, a gain of 10 yards, and an Oiler first down.
Kenny, we've talked about how effective Chris Chandler has been, and he has been effective so far this afternoon despite being knocked down on the ground. Right here you see 7 hurries, but right there, key stat, 5 times he's been knocked down.
And you know, during the week, some of his teammates have questioned the severity of his illness, but they could not question Chris Chandler here today, coming in without having practiced during the week, suffering from a form of mononucleosis. Rodney Thomas, he fumbles on the play, and it is recovered by the Lions. Tracy Scroggins caused the fumble, and the Lions have recovered. Second Oilers turnover of this first half.
See Henry Thomas cradling that football. We had just talked about times that Chris Chandler had been knocked down. Add another one to it. Oh, not quite knocked down, but he takes a hit. And Rodney Thomas, problems early in the season holding on to the football. Right there, once again, lays it on the carpet. The Lions recover it.
And Thomas has had problems fumbling all season long. In fact, he was taken out of a couple of games earlier due to his fumbling problems as Mitchell goes to Moore on the far side. That was a big topic in Houston earlier this season, the fumbling problems suffered by the rookie Rodney Thomas. It was Tracy Scroggins knocking the ball away, and then Henry Thomas on the recovery.
With those fumbling problems, they've continued to have confidence and keep them in the football game. That's the one thing, you know, it's a problem, but that's the one thing you don't want is him to lose his confidence as a football player carrying the football.
There's Barry Sanders inside the 25, down to the 23. Eddie Robinson made the stop, so Sanders comes right back after losing yardage on his previous 2 carries.
Kenny, we talk about this #1 offense for the Lions, and we talk Herman Moore, Brett Perryman, Scott Mitchell, Barry Sanders. You have to give a lot of credit for the group of offensive linemen that head coach Wayne Fonts has put together. He has a group of Pro Bowl player like Lomas Brown, Kevin Glover, an underrated center who maybe should be in the Pro Bowl. That's a veteran group they have front doing a really good job this year.
And it is now 2nd and 5 as Mitchell looks end zone. The pass too far ahead of Brett Perryman.
Eddie Robinson for the Oilers. Again on the blitz, putting pressure on Mitchell. If Robinson is picked up, it probably is a touchdown. You see him bringing both inside linebackers, and right there just gets through the middle, untouched.
3rd down.
3rd down and 5 on the 23. Herman Moore, and the Lions have the first down. Moore was ruled down. 8-yard gain, so Herman Moore and Brett Perryman have combined to make 8 catches in this first half. Amazing numbers, Anthony, over the last 4 games. 75 receptions for the combination of Moore and Perryman. 8 more here today.
It is amazing. You consider you do have Barry Sanders, and then a guy we've not talked about a whole lot, Johnny Morton, with a lot of speed in there.
And this is Sanders on the pitch back. He loses 2 yards as the clock continues to run down to the 2-minute warning.
And right here we have a prime example of what the Oilers need to do with Barry Sanders. Don't let him take it outside. You see the nice containment right there by Joe Bowden, turning them back into his teammates. The pursuit gets there, and they stop Barry Sanders. Nice play by that defense.
Back from Houston in a moment. Back in Houston, the answer to our Aflac trivia question, Hall of Fame tight end Jackie Smith held the record, the former Cardinal and Cowboy, for most games played by a tight end, tied today by Rodney Holman of the Lions.
And it's a shame that he has to be remembered by that one play there. Dropped wide open in the end zone.
Second down and 12 for the Lions. Inside 2 minutes to go, first half. Mitchell will keep it himself. Nope. Decides to throw it. Looked as if Mitchell would cross the line of scrimmage and run, but he held up a bit. So it will be third down and 12.
I personally feel that was a bad mistake on Scott Mitchell's part. He had an opportunity with plenty of room to gain just a few yards and then go down. You see right here, he gets some pressure, and he throws the ball when he shouldn't have thrown it right here. Just run it. Just run. Get what you can and then slide. Joe Bowden's right there ready to hit him, and he throws where there's two Oilers in coverage. Great chance of getting that one picked off.
So it's now third down and 12. Play clock running down. Mitchell to the end zone. Great coverage. Darrell Lewis defending Herman Moore. So Darrell Lewis, who has already picked off 6 passes this year, doing the job on Moore in the end zone.
You have to give credit to the total defensive scheme on this. They come with pressure. They make Mitchell throw it up, and then you have the coverage by Darrell Lewis right there all the way, nearly making the interception.
And now a 36-yard field goal attempt. Jason Hansen leading the NFC with 99 points. The holder is Mark Royals. And the kick by Hansen is good. 1:44 to go in this second quarter, and the Lions back on top now by the score of 10-7.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Oldsmobile.
Lions on top by the score of 10-7. They have now scored in 21 consecutive quarters. Winners of 4 straight games. Jason Hansen hit from 36. All 10 Lion points following Houston turnovers. And there is Mel Gray. Spent the last 6 years with the Lions. Signed as a free agent during the offseason. Angled toward the corner. And Gray actually ran into his own man. He came together with John Henry Mills, and the tackle was made by Tom Beer. 24-yard return by Mel Gray.
It's rough enough trying to gain yardage against 11 opponents. You don't need one of your own teammates coming by and giving you a nice hit there. See him right there. He's kind of like holding his hands up like, okay, which way do I go? But he doesn't have the quickness Mel Gray does and cannot get out of his way.
And he's the special teams captain. 1:36 to go, first half. First and 10 for the Oilers from their own 28. Chandler has it knocked out of his hand. The ball is loose. The Lions say they have it, and they do. Third Oilers turnover of this first half.
Antonio London, number 55. He beats Herb Eatman, the right offensive tackle, with his speed around the corner. Not satisfied with just getting to Chris Chandler. Here's Eatman right here, and there's London, number 55. Nothing fancy, just uses the speed. Smart thing by London. Herb Eatman was starting to push him around Chandler, but he saw that he had some closeness to the quarterback, so he just whacked him with his arm, causing the fumble.
And the fumble was recovered by the cornerback, Ryan McNeil. Barry Sanders on first and goal, turns the corner. has the touchdown. So the Lions continue to rack up the points following Oiler turnovers. And for Barry Sanders, his 9th rushing touchdown this year.
And his ability to start it inside and bounce it outside, exactly what the Oilers did not want. It's just amazing to see him as he looks up and then all of a sudden shift his weight to the outside, take it outside, see the opening, touchdown Lions.
Jason Hansen knocks it through. So the Lions have scored all 17 of their points following the 3 Oiler turnovers. Detroit's lead over Houston is now 17-7. Back from the Astrodome right after this. 9-yard touchdown run by Barry Sanders. Lions out on top now 17-7. Here's Mel Gray. Haven't we done this before? John Henry Mills stays out of his way this time as Gray cuts up to the 24-yard line. 20-yard return.
All Barry Sanders needs as a running back is he needs for his offensive lineman to get on a defensive lineman, not allow them penetration. Right here you see. And then he sees it, but then he sees the outside. Not only his athletic ability comes into play there, but his vision of the football field, the ability to see that the inside is clogged up, I have to take it out, and let his quickness and speed take care of it. Bang, he hits it to the outside, scores a touchdown.
1:15 remaining in this first half. Oilers trailing 17-7. Chandler on first down. It's picked off by Willie Clay. They call him Willie Big Play Clay, and that is his 6th interception this year and the 4th Houston turnover of this first half.
What happened there? Chandler just threw in where the corners had help from the safeties. He threw it up, expecting the wide receiver to beat the corner. But Willie Clay was right there, sitting in that deep zone, as you could expect late here in the first half. Ryan McNeil, number 47, they're trailing, knowing that he has that help. And Willie Clay makes the interception.
Mitchell swings it out. Pass intended for Barry Sanders. Anthony, the Oilers have turned the ball over on 3 consecutive offensive plays. Started with the fumble by Rodney Thomas. Next possession, Chandler hit on first down, fumbled. And then the following possession, the pick by Willie Clay. So 3 consecutive offensive plays. The Oilers turned the ball over.
And the key for the Lions is they've taken advantage and they've scored points after 3 of those.
Under a minute to go in this first half. Lions looking for more as Mitchell under pressure once again. Throws it away.
And I'm sure this Oiler coaching staff is aware that they have to get pressure on Scott Mitchell. And when they've gotten pressure on him, he's just thrown the ball up and not completed the passes right there. They brought Eddie Robinson, number 50, on a blitz. You see right there, interception, touchdown, fumble, field goal, touchdown. They've scored 3 out of the 4 times that they've gotten turnovers, and that's the key so far this first half.
Looking to make it 4 for 4 on this drive. And they have the first down as Mitchell hits Johnny Morton, 17 yards. Morton's first catch of this first half.
You concentrate enough on the 2 guys right there. You see Morton concentrate enough on Herman Moore, Brett Perryman. Then you concentrate on Sanders. All of a sudden, Johnny Morton comes up, makes the catch as he does there, the second-year player.
And the Lions have called timeout. They stop the clock with 47 seconds remaining in this second quarter. Johnny Morton, an excellent supplement to the combination of Herman Moore and Brett Perryman.
What did head coach Wayne Fonz tell us? That he feels that Morton probably is the fastest of the group, but Brett Perryman would probably argue that.
But would Herman Moore?
I think Herman Moore might know that those other two guys have a little more speed. But that's not going to stop Herman Moore.
First and 10 on the Oilers' 29. Herman Moore with a touchdown earlier. 17-7 Lions lead. Pass deflected. David Sloan, the tight end, the intended receiver. The rookie third-round draft pick out of New Mexico, Chuck Cecil, on the coverage.
Right there, we had a chance to hear Scott Mitchell changing the play at the line of scrimmage. He said, well, I've gone to the other guys enough. We might as well bring David Sloan, our tight end, the young tight end, into the game as he attempts to make a completion there. Here they come.
10, yes, they came again. And a flag, late hit, as Mitchell was knocked all the way back.
Guess the question here, well, we see it, intentionally grounding by Scott Mitchell as the Oilers brought, it seemed like, everybody on the other side of the football.
And Mitchell did take a hit as well.
He sure did. He kind of rolled around a couple times after he took a hit. Right there, you see him. There's 4, 5, 6, 7 guys coming, and Eddie Robinson right up the middle.
Well, it was a push.
A little bit of a push. A guy that big, you have to get a lot of a push there. There's nobody in the middle. You see Kevin Glover taking one of the guys, but after Eddie Robinson, look at this. There's not a guy in sight. There's just nobody there.
Third down and 21. 40 seconds to go in this first half. Pressure again. This time the pass is complete. Harry Sanders works his way up to the 31. Gain of 9 yards on the play. Coming up on the Dockers halftime, JB and Terry will have all the scores and highlights from around the NFL. And don't miss this week's installment of Choice Cuts. That's all coming up at halftime on the Dockers halftime. The Lions have called another timeout with 26 seconds to play. They lead by the score of 17-7. Oilers have turned the ball over 4 times in this first half. Anthony, coming up this Friday on the X-Files, a child could bring peace to the planet or unleash hell on Earth. Judgment Day is here on a brand new X-Files, Friday night at 9, 8 Central, right here on Fox.
Okay, looking at this timeout that the Lions called, it surprises me because they kicked this field goal and there's still several, at least 24, 25 seconds left, opposed to if they let the clock run down and then call a timeout or just go after it, eliminate all the time before half.
And this will be a 49-yard attempt, his longest season, 56. Will set a new team record. Jason Hansen, and this one is wide left. And a penalty flag thrown on the far side on the 35-yard line. Mike Johnson says it's on the Oilers.
Holding, he's signaling holding. Looking maybe at a first, holding against the Lions.
That's why Mike Johnson is not wearing a white and black striped shirt.
Well, maybe now they're
Holding
changing it.
on the kicking team. The penalty is declined. First down.
Learn there not to look at the offensive player. Probably be able to see at the top of the screen. You see number 82, Rodney Holman. That's Darrell Lewis coming off the corner. And if that's where they called the holding, I don't understand that one. There you see special teams coach Frank Novak. I'm sure he's trying to get an answer where the call or who the call was on.
And he spent the last 6 years with the Oilers. And now Houston calls timeout with 21 seconds remaining, second quarter. Chris Chandler and the Oilers trailing by the score of 17-7 to a Lion club which has won 4 consecutive games, 4-0 since Wayne Fonts, the head coach, injured his ankle.
We're talking to Coach Fonts yesterday, and he goes to tell us about his ankle, and we said, oh, you've been playing hurt. And he didn't realize he was playing hurt. I mean, he knew it was sore, but I guess it was a Tampa Bay game.
Yes, Wayne figured it was only an ankle sprain, but this week it was determined a fractured fibula. And Wayne said, if we keep on winning, I'll keep the cast on until the Super Bowl. Remember last year, Don Shula, head coach of the Miami Dolphins, with the injury problem.
Well, he thinks maybe he can better that record with his cast.
Undefeated, 4-0.
Little different mentality here. He's probably one of those Howie Long tough guys. No cart for the guy. He's walking around with the cast.
If not, he will be next year.
Yeah.
But Wayne said, hey, if we go to the Super Bowl, I'm keeping this cast on. Chandler over the top, incomplete. The intended receiver was Derek Russell. Now 18 seconds to go. Remember last week, Chandler played the entire first half against the Steelers, and then he felt the effects. Will Fuhrer came in. But obviously, we do not know what Chris's health state is right now. But do you feel, should the Oilers continue to trail, that we could see Steve McNair in the second half?
No question about it. I would think that would be the case. And with just a few seconds left before halftime, I'm sure the coaches are going to be evaluating his status in the locker room.
Chandler dumps it off. This is Todd McNair across midfield. And the Oilers call another timeout, 13-yard gain. Now 11 seconds remaining. Once again, the Dockers halftime upcoming. JB and Terry with scores and highlights from around the NFL. Choice cuts, that's coming up next on the Dockers halftime. You know, one thing Coach Jeff Fisher talked about with regard to Chris Chandler's health, his energy level. Could he keep it up for the entire game?
That's a key point, Kenny, you make there, because this game is so tough to play healthy, let alone when you've had this virus for as long as he's had it, not been able to practice, not been able to go 100%. Again, it's something that they will evaluate, see how he's feeling at halftime, see what his energy level's like. And I think more than just his health, the fact that they've turned the ball over in this first half and they've only generated 1 touchdown might come into play with that guy there coming into the football game.
Gutsy effort by Chris Chandler. He's completed 14 of 20. And has also thrown 2 interceptions. 11 seconds remaining. Oilers with 1 timeout remaining. Chandler dumps it off. Frank Whitecheck gets to the sidelines. 3 seconds to go.
Smart move on Frank Whitecheck's decision there. A 13-yard reception. He knew the time was running out, so he got the ball out to stop the clock to give Al Del Greco a chance for 3 points with 3 seconds left before halftime.
Del Greco 2 of 4 this season from 50 or more. His career long is 54 yards. This attempt will be from 53. With Rich Camarillo holding, he bobbles the snap, rolls left. Camarillo just lobs it downfield out of bounds, and that will do it for this first half.
I give Camarillo a lot of credit on that. There was no way that they needed another turnover with the punter back there, quarterback trying to hit someone downfield. A Lion intercepts it, maybe has a chance to take it back. Right there, it's a low snap. It just goes through his hands, and you work on this all the time at practice. Is it once there's a bad snap, you pick it up, you start yelling, fire, fire, your ends go out. Bruce Matthews, who snaps on the field goals on punts, right there you said, just smart move, let's throw it as far as I can, but make sure it's off the field of play.
The intended receiver sitting in the 3rd row.
Some lucky fan.
So 4 Oilers turnovers in the first half, and it ends with the bad snap on the 53-yard field goal attempt. There is Chris Chandler slowly heading off following this first half against the Lions.
You have to give that man there a lot of credit. Going out, gutsy, and playing the way he has.
And at the end of the first half, it's the Lions 17, the Oilers 7. Welcome back to the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, where the Lions, looking to make it 5 straight wins, lead the Oilers at halftime by the score of 17-7. Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz from the Astrodome. And Anthony, the Oilers hope to set the tone when they recovered the Herman Moore fumble on the first play from scrimmage, but then Houston turned the ball over 4 times.
It was the Lions that followed that, and like you said, they got the ball, but the key thing is you look at them here, interception, fumble, interception. The key has to be the points that the Lions scored after the turnovers.
And they did score all 17 of their points following the Oilers' turnovers. Now, turning to the halftime numbers, Detroit with 200 yards of total offense, so they are halfway to the magic number. They have hit 400 or more yards of total offense each of the last 3 games.
And there you see it, the points off the turnover, 17-0 for the Oilers.
And in that first half, Barry Sanders became the 10th rusher in NFL history to meet the 10,000-yard mark. He did it early in the first quarter. As we look at the big 3 for the Lions, we spoke about this combination earlier, Sanders, Moore, and Perryman.
You know, who do you focus in on as a defensive coordinator or defensive player? I mean, okay, let's stop Barry Sanders, but then you have the other 2 guys that you have to worry about, Moore and Perryman. It's a dilemma that you're in.
And Herman Moore would open the scoring for the Lions with this 13-yard touchdown reception from Mitchell.
Set up nicely by one of the other big 3. Of course, the fake pitch to Barry Sanders. They get Joe Bowden to bite on the run, and all of a sudden, Mitchell comes out with the football, and he hits Herman Moore.
And on that play, Mitchell set the new Lions record with his 27th touchdown pass.
And then you have Barry Sanders. All you need, just maintain contact. You don't know where he's going to go. He might start it at the right side of the center, the guard, but you never know. Right here, he bounces it outside, 6 points right into the end zone.
Yes, 9-yard touchdown run by Barry Sanders. And, of course, we must again mention the play of Chris Chandler after suffering from the mononucleosis virus, 15 of 21 in that first half, 143 yards. 2 interceptions to go along with his 1 touchdown pass. Lions kick it off to begin this second half as Mel Gray cuts right. Gray's still on his feet, and he is knocked out of bounds after a 35-yard return. And there is Steve McNair, the rookie out of Alcorn State, 3rd overall pick in this year's draft. And McNair hears it from the crowd as he makes his first regular season appearance at the Astrodome.
Not only is Steve McNair in the ball game, but Jerry Rome has moved from the press box down onto the field to give him some help, communication right there instead of having to talk through the headset or the telephone.
Yes, Jerry Rome, the offensive coordinator. Steve McNair has not thrown a pass in the National Football League. Came in for 4 snaps in an earlier game as McNair hands off to Rodney Thomas on first down. Steve McNair set all kinds of records at Alcorn State, the only player in NCAA history to go over 16,000 yards in total offense.
I think I have to get this straight now. I referred to him as Air McNair earlier in the game. He told us that his brother Fred, who also played at Alcorn State himself, came up with that name together, and he is actually Air 2, and his brother's Air 1. Just had to set that straight.
So Air 2 at the helm for the Oilers.
But he's number 1 today.
Yes, started as the number 2 quarterback today as he hands it off to Rodney Thomas. Bud Adams, the Oilers owner, on draft day, said that drafting Earl Campbell turned the franchise around. Acquiring Warren Moon turned the franchise around. And Bud Adams feels that drafting Steve McNair will turn the franchise around.
And they felt that as we take a look right here, Jerry Rome, the offensive coordinator, now downstairs. Of course, you'll always have that headset talking to the other offensive coaches that stayed up in the box.
3rd down and 8. On the 42. McNair to the air for the first time. And the pass is incomplete as he took a hit. Welcome to the NFL, says Antonio London.
The speed rusher wants McNair to know that he's out there, and he sure does on this first pass play. And this is going to be the key to the Lions defense, is blitzing, putting pressure on this rookie. Right here, Robert Massey, nice coverage there. Really nowhere to throw to.
Now Rich Camarillo punts it away. Willie Clay awaits. Clay from the 14. And Clay finds a hole. It was the punter, Rich Camarillo, who made the stop. 29-yard return by Clay, who told us, I'm not Mel Gray. I catch it and get what I can get. Well, 29 yards on this one. His longest return this season.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. By EA Sports, makers of NHL 96. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And by DirecTV, it's personalized TV.
Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz from the Astrodome in Houston, following the 29-yard punt return by Willie Clay. Lions start in excellent field position on their own 44-yard line. Mitchell on first down, goes to the air, has a receiver. It is Herman Moore. 9-yard gain. Moore and Brent Perryman here today have become the second combination of receivers to combine for over 200 receptions. Last year, the Vikings' Chris Carter and Jake Reed set the record at 207. And Moore and Perryman today, that's 201. 200 through the first half. Anthony getting the job done via the telestrator.
You got to keep track. Got to keep it updated.
201 and counting. Not 202, however.
Nope, because of Darrell Lewis breaking on that one. The ball was thrown a little high, but he was there to break it up. These corners, Lewis and Dishman, are called on to play man-to-man coverage, especially as much as they blitz. Sometimes they'll be back there in the zone, but not that often. You can't ask for much better coverage than that. Darrell Lewis is right there all over Perryman.
Third down and 1.
Here they come. They're bringing them.
They got him. Eddie Robinson came in with 2.5 sacks. Forces Mitchell back, and the Lions will punt.
Sooner or later, Eddie Robinson has to get to Scott Mitchell. He's been close several times. Right there, he gets the sack. And you see right there, Barry Sanders making a nice attempt on Joe Bowden, but then that does not leave anybody for Eddie Robinson. He gets the sack.
Once again, they keep it away from Mel Gray, and the Lions will down it right around the 10. Good job by the coverage team. 42-yard punt. We'll have another look at Steve McNair in just a moment. Kenny Albert, Anthony Munoz in Houston. Chris Chandler on the sidelines, watching the future of the Oilers franchise. Steve McNair started the second half, second consecutive week. Chandler was able to go into 2 quarters. The Oilers start from deep in their own territory on the 11-yard line. And that pass deflected and almost intercepted. Corey Raymond on the coverage. The intended receiver was Chris Sanders.
That was unbelievable, and Tracy Hayworth almost coming up with the pick. You can't question this guy's courage right here, Chris Chandler. You look at him, especially after being hit, knocked down 5 times. They blitzed him, they picked him off, they sacked him once, they hurried him, but he stood in there. A lot of courage that first half.
On second and 10, Rodney Thomas takes the handoff, has the first down. Out across the 25, a gain of 15 yards. Tackle was finally made by Willie Clay.
And he hit that hole in a hurry. That offensive line of Matthews right there, 74, pushing his guy past the hole. Irv Eatman. But it really was made by Bruce Matthews. Took Mike Johnson, eliminated him from anywhere near the running back, and Rodney Thomas squirts through there.
Thomas, the third-round draft pick. 2 rounds after the Oilers selected Steve McNair. Here's Thomas. Once again, bottled up this time, a gain of only 2. Steve McNair finished 3rd in the Heisman Trophy voting a year ago. And he has 40 family members in attendance here today. They anticipated the possibility that Steve would play. You know, Jeff Fisher felt he was held back by the cancellation. Remember, week 3 of the preseason, Oilers and the San Diego Chargers preseason game was canceled, and McNair was scheduled to play 2 quarters that day, and Fisher said that definitely impeded his progress.
They've also enlarged the package. They felt they had a certain amount of plays that he could run. Right here is probably one of them.
His first National Football League completion, and Haywood Jeffries makes the catch, enjoys a laugh on the sidelines.
And I was talking about head coach Jeff Fisher was saying we've brought him along slowly. There's been a package of plays that we've felt comfortable with them, but that package has been able to be enlarged. Right there you see Haywood Jeffries, who's made a lot of catches, but now he can say, I made the first NFL catch that Steve McNair threw.
Yes, in 15 years, when Haywood Jeffries is sitting in the lounge chair watching with Steve McNair, the veteran, in action, he will be able to say that he did, in fact, make the first catch. McNair now 1 for 4. How many pages was your first contract with the Bengals?
How many pages?
How many pages?
Not very long.
Steve McNair's first NFL contract, 50 pages.
Man. Well, there's a difference between millions, you know, all those zeros that he has. You have to add pages for each one of those zeros. I didn't have that many zeros at the end of my contract.
A lot of pages to read through.
Yes, it is.
McNair to the sidelines following his second series. Rich Camarillo back at his own 17. Brett Perriman, the deep man for the Lions. Nice spiral by Camarillo. Perriman calls for the fair catch at his own 19-yard line. 50-yard punt by Camarillo. Back to the Astrodome with the Lions ahead 17-7 right after these messages. Night movie. Kenny Albert with Anthony Munoz. They took my seat.
Can't believe it. You charging rent for those? I mean, I thought you had dibs on those from the beginning.
I mean, I was there during the pregame. We got booted up to the broadcast booth. And here we are. Scott Mitchell on first down, hands it off. Barry Sanders, that is his 4th carry for negative yardage this afternoon. 11 carries for Sanders, 4 for negative yardage. I mean, what's going on? Look how comfortable they look right on the sidelines, about 20 feet from the end zone.
Well, I figure this is probably getting close to, you know, no more games being played here for the Oilers. They wanted to enjoy this game, relaxing. As long as they don't fall asleep, I think it's okay. But I can't believe they took your chairs. What do you think, Blue? What do you think Blue's saying? The dog, I mean, he was there. He was comfortable.
I mean, he got booted, too. There is Doug Weidel, the left guard, being checked out by the Lions medical staff. Well, there's Blue.
They got him on the floor.
On a towel.
That can't be comfortable with this bowl of water right here. If that, I mean, I don't know if it's water.
Well, where's the Fox sticker that he was wearing earlier?
Well, heck, let's. Oh.
Well, you don't want to draw it on Doug Weidel.
No. There you go. He's got to get a little more excited.
Blue feels blue, knowing that this could be the second to last game he will ever work at the Astrodome, with the possibility of the Oilers' move to Tennessee. And the president of Federal Express, Fred Smith, is here today, sitting with Bud Adams. We were told that he was scheduled to attend and has spoken with Bud Adams about the possibility of the Oilers moving and playing at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis. a couple of years. Not been sitting with Bud Adams, but they have chatted in recent weeks. Second down and 12, and Mitchell throws to Barry Sanders. Sanders keeps on going and is finally forced out of bounds. You talk about yards after the catch. Barry Sanders gets the job done right there.
Well, that's the problem you run into as he catches one and runs 24 yards on that reception. The problem that you have when you bring people, you blitz people, as the Oilers do on this one, Scott Mitchell able to turn quickly, hit Barry Sanders, and I'm sure right there to be one-on-one with Barry Sanders in the open field, it's just you and him. I don't know, you better make sure you can get close to that sideline and use that sideline as a buddy.
68 total yards for Barry Sanders. Takes the pitch back, and now the reverse. This is Johnny Morton. Out near midfield. Gain of 8 yards. Blaine Bishop made the stop.
And who's out there making a block for Johnny Morton? Number 19, Scott Mitchell. And he's blocking a defensive end. There you see Henry Ford doing a nice job. He's staying at home because he sees a reverse. But Scott Mitchell, who's maybe just as big as Henry Ford, it wasn't a crushing block, but it was an effective block.
Johnny Morton's second carry this season, ran one for 18 yards on Monday night against the Bears. Second down and 2.
Again,
Mitchell had to throw it away under intense pressure. So it will be 3rd and 2 with the Lions leading 17-7.
We'll see Joe Bowden right here, number 58. Big number looking right at us with Eddie Robinson right next to him. They have both those linebackers on the same side. They're both coming. Only one can be accounted for. They pick Robinson up. Joe Bowden is right there to not put a big hit, but he makes a little contact on Scott Mitchell, forcing him to throw the ball quickly.
3rd down and 2. The pass is incomplete. The intended receiver, Brett Perriman. Darrell Lewis on the coverage. Got a hand on it.
You have to give Scott Mitchell a lot of credit on that one. Once again, the Oilers came with the blitz. Scott Mitchell stood right in there and threw I thought it was a catchable ball. I mean, if not, it would have not a real difficult catch. No, I would say that's a catchable ball right there.
And now Mark Royals. Al Gray, fair catch. So they've done an excellent job of keeping the ball away from Gray as they angled it towards the sidelines. 40-yard punt by Royals.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
Welcome back to the Astrodome in Houston. Kenny Albert with Anthony Munoz, and Lions punter Mark Royals has done a terrific job, despite the 37.5-yard average, keeping the ball away from Mel Gray. 2 out of bounds, 2 fair catches. He has not been able to return a punt yet.
The key stat there with return yards, 0.
McNair with loads of time, and then he is taken down. Tracy Scroggins with his 8th sack of the year, a loss of 8 yards. McNair had time but could not find any open receivers.
You were right there, Kenny, when you said he did have plenty of time, and all of a sudden the rush came through, a little fake to Gary Brown there, and you have to give the credit on this sack by Tracy Scroggins to the defensive secondary for the coverage they had on Steve McNair's receivers.
Pushing the Oilers back inside their 5-yard line. Rodney Thomas is met by Mike Wells. And it looks as if the ruling is he was stopped on the 1.
Mike Wells has been in there giving Henry Thomas a break from that cock-nose position. And he just puts a big-time hit as you see him defeat the reach block of Mark Stepnowski. In fact, That is what you want from your nose tackle. Do not give the offensive lineman a chance to square up. He takes the shoulder of Stepnoski, allows him to get that penetration, and gets the big hit.
3rd and 20 from the 1-yard line. McNair will pass from the end zone to get some breathing room for the punt as Steve McNair finds Todd McNair.
McNair to McNair with coverage by Jeffries.
That's Greg Jeffries, right quarterback for the Lions, not Haywood Jeffries, of course, no relation. And now we will see Rich Camarillo once again. The 5th punt of this second half. Only 3 punts combined in the first half, 5 here in the second. Willie Clay had the big return earlier of 29 yards. Camarillo under intense pressure. High kick, excellent hang time, and Clay makes the fair catch at midfield. 38-yard punt by Rich Camarillo. 5:48 to go, 3rd quarter. Lions leading the Oilers 17-7. Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, a crucial NFC Central matchup as the Buccaneers battle the Bears, plus other exciting regional action followed at 4 p.m. by the Giants and the Cowboys. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. Anthony, you and I will head to Chicago and go out for winter parkas.
The parkas, the gloves, earmuffs,
and the playoff picture.
And the playoff picture, correct.
There's Mitchell on 1st down. Wobbly pass intended for Johnny Morton. Well, the Lions have won 4 in a row. Should they hold on today, this would match their longest win streak since the 1991 season. Chicago and St. Louis both losing. Atlanta on top 16-0. Philadelphia trailing Dallas. Minnesota victorious yesterday.
So that would put them in good position with the win here.
And they are 5-2, the Lions are, against their division. Look at potential tiebreakers. Mitchell fumbles the football. And Perriman able to recover.
He held it, and all of a sudden, he held it just a little too long. Good move on Brett Perriman's awareness here, jumping on this football, because they could very easily have just relaxed thinking it was an incompleted pass. But Michael Barrows, I believe there, hit him, the fumble, and here they mad scramble, and Brett Perriman, number 80, jumps on it. But again, quite aware that it was a fumble. He made a smart move by jumping on that football.
No loss on the play, so it will be 3rd down and 10 from the 49-yard line.
Kenny, and earlier we noticed Doug Wydell was hurt. They have brought in Mike Compton, number 77, at the left guard position.
On 3rd and 10, Mitchell pump fakes and then lobs one downfield. It's picked off by Chuck Cecil. His 3rd interception this season and his 2nd in as many weeks.
Once again, the pressure created by this Oiler defense, making Scott Mitchell make bad decisions. He throws that one up, and Chuck Cecil's right there to pick it up. You see right in this area, the guy standing up, all of a sudden they come. There's looping and one open spot there for one of the defenders to get through. And when you loop and crisscross, that creates confusion among the offensive linemen and trying to decide who you pick up. And sooner or later, one of those guys are going to get through just like they did right there.
The Oilers tops in the AFC with 19 interceptions. Chuck Cecil's 3rd of the year. Steve McNair from the 24, rolling right, and has a receiver. It's Haywood Jeffries. 1st down for the Oilers. Now let's head to Hollywood for this McDonald's game break and James Brown.
Hey, Kenny, Craig Hayward, 93 combined yards in this game. 1st receiving touchdown of the season. Saints had won 4 of the last 5 games. They're in trouble, losing 16-0 in the 3rd. Take it back to Kenny and Anthony.
Falcons coming off last week's tough loss to the Dolphins, getting the job done today against New Orleans.
We talked about Barry Sanders one-on-one with Dishman in the open field. How would you like to be a defensive back one-on-one with Ironhead Hayward coming in?
I'll pass.
Wow.
And Steve McNair will pass on 1st First down, no, he will not. He escapes the pressure. And is met by Chris Spielman.
And the guy he has to escape from is number 54, or 55, excuse me, Antonio London, who has been spending most of this afternoon back in the backfield. And a super move by Steve McNair to get away from Antonio London, just ducking right underneath him. A lot of times you can't see the guy, but you can feel him, and it's just a matter of reaction, football awareness, as he does there. Avoiding the sack.
Don't think for a second that McNair does not enjoy running the football. 33 rushing touchdowns from McNair in college. Rodney Thomas out to midfield. 8-yard gain and an Oilers first down. Imagine that, 33 rushing touchdowns alone. 119 via the air. Over 16,000 yards of total offense. And he led 28 come from behind victories.
Now I got a question for you. Over 16,000 total yards translated into miles. We have to do this. What does that come down to?
I knew that was coming.
I had my calculator out last night.
And the answer is?
Well, do you want a estimation?
Oh, wide open is Derek Russell. Down to the 32-yard line, a gain of 18.
Well, right there, unlike the completion to Haywood Jeffries when he rolled out, he showed what a strong arm he had. Here, he showed tremendous touch by just putting it up and over and completing it. That's a sign of a guy that knows his arm strength. Right here. He could have zipped that ball, but he knew that Willie Clay was right there in front of him. He just kind of, not lobbed it, but he had the touch to kind of put it over.
There it is, Steve McNair at Alcorn State. Here today, 3 consecutive completions overall. He is 4 of 7. McNair looking downfield. The intended receiver was Chris Sanders.
Fans are booing. They believe that Robert Massey interfered with Sanders. First of all, Robert Massey gets an arm there, and the one thing he does to his advantage is he uses the sideline, and as he turns for the football, there's some contact there. If the contact is made past 5 yards, it's a flag. There was no flag. I think there's a little too much contact there.
Second down and 10. Lions 32. Sanders and McNair hands it off to Thomas. Getting back to Chris Sanders. He played against Steve McNair in the Senior Bowl on opposing teams, and he told us nobody throws the ball as hard as Steve McNair. He watched him from the opposite sideline in the Senior Bowl last year.
And that's even more of a compliment when someone tells you how hard a guy can throw a football, and then he makes that completion, just kind of tossing it, having the touch to put it right over the defender.
And you know, when you look at the Lions and what they've done offensively with Mitchell, Moore, Perriman coming into their own, and of course Barry Sanders, how about this rookie core for the Houston Oilers? As McNair had trouble with the snap, and the Oilers recover. You have a rookie quarterback in Steve McNair, first-round draft pick. Rookie running back in Rodney Thomas, who's gained over 800 yards this season. And a rookie wide receiver in Chris Sanders, who's put up some pretty big numbers as well.
Well, there's good and bad with that. You know, the good is that you have these guys early in their career. You can get them established in your system. But the bad thing is once these guys develop, and all of a sudden the free agency's there, other teams are going to pick them up.
Here's Al Del Greco on to attempt a 48-yard field goal. This time the snap is good, as is the kick. They had trouble with the snap just prior to halftime. Del Greco hits from 48 as the Oilers pull within 17-10. 15 seconds to go in the third. After married with children, on Fox, Ron Rivers takes the kickoff. Now the near sideline, he is upended at the 34-yard line. What is so funny, Anthony?
Well, I'm glad that they don't have any of my attempts for our opening, and we rehearse those things before a game. Well,
How about this planted in front of the McNair banner?
I'm sure she knew that was going to get on the air, so she just kind of jumped right in front of there.
And there's Blue, my partner during the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show, who retrieves the tee following every kickoff. Sanders on the final play of quarter number 3. As we take a look at Chris Chandler heading off to the Oilers dressing room. That's the end of the third quarter from the Astrodome, with the Detroit Lions on top of the Houston Oilers by the score of 17-10.
Kenny, right here we see the score by quarters, and you have to take note right here. First time they had a streak of 21 straight quarters, the Lions, in scoring. Third quarter, no points.
And look to put some points on the board here in the fourth quarter as Brent Perriman makes the catch inside the Oilers 40. A la Willie Mays, the basket catch while he was closely defended.
Willie Mays catch for 26 yards. The fade, just come right down, let the ball come over your shoulders. And the key to that catch is wait as long as you can to bring your arms up. And right there, it doesn't matter because he has plenty of separation.
Mitchell on first down, swings it out. And right now, let's go to Hollywood once again for another McDonald's game break with James Brown.
Hey, Kenny, Ricky Waters was big on this scoring drive for the Eagles. They give him the ball. He takes it over for the score. And now Philadelphia decides to go for the 2, successfully finding Fred Barnett from Rodney Peete within a field goal of the Cowboys. Let's take it back to Kenny and Anthony.
Now, how cold do you think it is at the Eagles and the Cowboys?
It has to be really cold. See those guys without their T-shirts. I don't know.
Although, you know, you've gone without your shirt in the booth now 3 consecutive weeks, so they'll just look to join the fun. Here's Mitchell to Perriman once again. Brett Perriman with his second consecutive excellent catch, and then he flips the ball to the guys in the lounge chairs.
You know, it's interesting. Head coach right there, you see the football, nice souvenir. Hopefully, well, he's going to have to give it back after a 26-yard catch. Talking to Wayne Fonts, he says, if we have to, we'll pass the ball every single down. And here's a prime example of why they are able to do that. You can either go to Herman Moore, Brett Perriman, take your choice.
And we heard the boos from the crowd as the gentleman on the right was forced to return the football to the officials.
That's no good.
Play clock winding down. Mitchell pump fakes, looks end zone. Herman Moore, here's the touchdown. What a catch. Herman Moore's second touchdown today with Chuck Cecil draped all over him.
You're exactly right. Chuck Cecil was right there. You can't fault the coverage. But one key ingredient, Herman Moore wanted that football a lot more than Chuck Cecil, and he went out up and out-fought him. That was just a matter of wanting the ball more than the defender. And that one, Chuck Cecil, Herman Moore goes up there with his excellent athletic ability to tax the football.
Hansen connects on the point after. Herman Moore's 14th touchdown reception this year on the 28th thrown by Scott Mitchell.
To you by Mercedes-Benz, where safety, reliability, performance, and value are never optional. By Dockers Flat Front Khakis, proud makers of nice pants. And by Intel, the world's leading maker of microprocessors.
The Lions out on top, 24-10. On Herman Moore's 14th touchdown of the season, 14-yard catch in the corner of the end zone from Scott Mitchell. Jason Hansen will kick it off. Mel Gray is back deep. 9 career return touchdowns, including 3 last year as a member of the Lions. Gray gets started from the 9. across the 30-yard line. 21-yard return.
We talked earlier about the Lion offensive line. Right here you have Kevin Glover, underrated, unsung, the director of that front five, pointing out the blitzes. Well, you got to pick this guy up. We got to get this guy. They do exactly that, giving Scott Mitchell enough time. As you see Herman Moore here, this time the Oilers in a little bit of a zone. Chris Dishman turns him over to Chuck Cecil, and it isn't bad coverage, but Herman Moore just goes up and takes it away. See his reaction there.
Think he's excited?
I think just a little bit.
Moore and Perryman now with 204 combined receptions as Steve McNair finds a receiver. Roderick Lewis, the second-string tight end, out to the 37-yard line, gain of 6 yards. Fourth time this season, Anthony, that Moore and Perryman have both got above 100 yards in the same game. 2 games to go. And 4 more receptions by Brett Perryman, and they will be the first combination of teammates to ever both catch 100 balls in the same season. Rodney Thomas, good second effort, still on his feet, finally taken down at the 47-yard line by Corey Raymond, a gain of 10. So Thomas continues to rack up the offense today for the Oilers.
You mentioned it, fine run by Rodney Thomas, but also bad tackling by the Detroit Lions. There's a hole there. Rodney Thomas gets through it, but there's also some opportunities to make a tackle right there. You see a couple Lions missing. Corey Raymond, number 31, had the best chance to make the tackle, but he didn't make it.
Rodney Thomas over the 800-yard mark. Only Earl Campbell gained more rushing yards as an Oiler rookie than Thomas. McNair dumps it off. Thomas fumbles for the second time today. Chris Spielman on the recovery. Lions football, 5 Houston turnovers, including 2 by Rodney Thomas.
You know, it's one thing if you go out there and you play against a football team and they just beat you physically, you don't make mistakes, but when you make mistake after mistake after mistake, and right there he runs into his own player, and all of a sudden Henry Thomas stripping the ball, Chris Spielman making the recovery.
Number 4 first half turnovers leading to 17 Lion points. Sanders on first down. Well, for Rodney Thomas, Anthony, that is 8 fumbles this season. You talk about the yardage he's picked up, and he has done an excellent job moving the Oilers downfield, but that's 8 fumbles in 14 games.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the next time they get the football, you don't see Merriam Butts in there running the football, or maybe even Gary Brown.
Four-yard gain by Sanders on first down, 2nd and 6.
Oh, man, that's 6. Oh!
Off the fingertips of Perryman. Mitchell thought he had it.
He pump faked, and Brett Perryman was wide open. Too much mustard behind that one. But they set it up perfectly with a lot of the quick right there. You see the pump, and he's looking. Watch his nice hesitation to go, and Darrell Lewis is sitting there 5-6 yards behind Brett Perryman. He goes, I just missed him right there.
Mitchell slings one. It's picked off by Tamor Barnes. The second-year man out of North Texas. His second interception this season. So one play after the near touchdown, Mitchell is intercepted. Oilers back to the offense when we return, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Scott Mitchell has thrown his second interception today. Tamor Barnes with the pick. 24-10 Lions lead. Steve McNair at quarterback for this entire second half in relief of Chris Chandler. Frank Wycheck, the tight end. Wycheck taken down after the 7-yard gain.
Okay, let's go back to the interception thrown by Scott Mitchell. I'm sure he wants this throw back. Starts off by some pressure by number 71, Greg Vesey, right here in the middle. He comes to the inside. Glover's going out to get the blitz and leaves him alone, but Tamur Barnes, a nice jump on it, making the pick. The play right after Brett Perryman had beaten Lewis for a touchdown, but the ball overthrown.
Tamur Barnes credits Deion Sanders with teaching him how to bait receivers. He played on the 49ers practice squad a year ago. Broken play as McNair hands off to Rodney Thomas. So Barnes spent some time with Deion in San Francisco, and he feels that is a big reason why he has had the success that he has enjoyed this year. Although a couple of weeks ago, Barnes was ordered off the practice field by Jeff Fisher. And Jeff Fisher also told us that this kid has Pro Bowl ability. So not only did they have a little run in, but he's high on his cornerback. Also high on the quarterback, Steve McNair. 3rd down and 4. Oilers on their own 47-yard line. 3 wide receivers. And they have the first down. Nice catch made by Rodney Thomas into Lions territory. And what the Oilers are doing right there, they're throwing a high percentage pass. Both the inside linebackers, Chris Billman and Mike Johnson came on the blitz. So he just takes his time and hits Rodney Thomas right over the middle where the linebackers vacated. And we continue to see how he also has the ability to throw the ball in there with a pretty good touch. They're now 8 of 12. Rolling right. Takes it himself. Steps out of bounds at the 39 after the 6-yard gain. And there's one of the other things that Jeff Fisher was talking about, his ability to pull it down. Kenny, I know you mentioned it earlier, his rushing yardage, his rushing touchdowns, but he does have the ability to pull the football down and make things happen with his legs instead of his arms. And here's a guy who was recruited out of high school as a defensive back. In fact, he tied Terrell Buckley's Mississippi high school record with 30 interceptions as a DB. But he said, deep down inside, in my heart, I knew that I could be a quarterback and show my abilities as a coach. McNair looking end zone, and there it is, his first NFL touchdown catch as it goes to fellow rookie Chris Sanders from 39 yards out. Just saw that sign there, I need some air from McNair. He gave him plenty of air there. You talked about his defensive back playing days in Alcorn State, the only college to give him an opportunity to play quarterback. As he grabs the football, he'll have that one in his trophy case, no question about it. Smiles all around as the Oilers pull within a touchdown. Aldo Greco for the extra point. And for Chris Sanders, his 10th reception this season of over 35 yards. Steve McNair to Chris Sanders. Oilers within a touchdown. You think maybe Chris Sanders was watching Brett Perryman on the move where he beat Lewis, but the ball was overthrown? Similar type of move. Same thing, he got behind the defender. A better result. And the fans on their feet. Oilers within a touchdown. Alan Williams. Williams across the 35. He fumbles. It's recovered by Tamur Barnes of the Oilers. Alan Williams, the kick returner, rookie out of Maryland, signed just 2 weeks ago, coughs it up, and Barnes is able to recover the 4th Lions turnover. And what you might have here going into the coverage team is the excitement
the motivation, the momentum that is built by the Steve McNair touchdown, getting these guys to go out there, they cause a fumble. All of a sudden, they're sitting here 7 points down in Lion territory.
Ball was knocked loose by Steve Jackson, recovered by Tamor Barnes, who picked off Scott Mitchell just moments ago. Oh, here's McNair once again, starting out from the Lions 39. Rodney Thomas up the middle.
Let's go back to that touchdown, and we can see exactly the move that Chris Sanders puts on Ryan McNeil. First of all, McNeil's kind of stumbling to begin with, but a nice stop and go, hesitation and go. And McNair just laying it in there for Chris Sanders for the score. And right here, I think he's looking at the official to get the signal. And once he sees it's a touchdown, I'm sure he's wide excited.
Second down and 2. Thomas. First down across the 25, down to the 24, a gain of 7.
You can see that the momentum has been turned up a notch. As you see right there, Alan Williams fumbled the ball on the kickoff return. All of a sudden, this Oiler football team can smell this within a touchdown from the Lions.
9 turnovers in the game. McNair, 8 of his last 9. Over the middle, complete. Haywood Jeffries inside the 10. Flags on the play.
You're right, flags. 3 flags come flying. 15-yard pickup, and I'm sure there'll be a few more yards tacked onto that one.
And how about the excitement here in Houston following the much-awaited, much-anticipated McNair
on the face mask, number 32
insertion into the Oilers lineup. And if they held that Save the Oilers rally this week, as we take a look at the face mask, only 65 people showed up at City Hall on Wednesday. But I think if that rally took place this Wednesday, it might be a bit different.
There would probably be a few more people. And right now, Jerry Rome and this offensive staff, they are using Steve McNair's abilities to the fullest. On that last play, they know he has the ability to roll. They roll him out, give him a better view of the field. He makes a completion, tack on a few yards with the face mask penalty.
First and goal. And the pass is picked off by Mike Johnson. His second interception today, and our 10th turnover.
You make plays as a rookie that you learn from, and there's one right there that Steve McNair will learn from when he watches the film on that play. Mike Johnson, the veteran, number 59. Right here, you see him. In the middle, along with Chris Spillman. He watches McNair the whole way, and he looks at Frank Wycheck. Steve McNair I'm talking about. He looks at his tight end the whole way, and that gives Mike Johnson the opportunity to jump on that pass.
Johnson's second interception of the game and the season.
Personal foul, number 36 on the intercepting team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
That call was on Benny Blades. Strong safety of the Lions after the interception was made, giving the ball. The Lions retained possession of the ball because it was after the interception.
10 turnovers. Barry Sanders. Sanders pushed out of bounds by Chris Dishman after the gain of 4. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the Houston Oilers and the National Football League is prohibited. 6.5 remaining. 24-17, Lions lead. second base safely.
And that was a smart move right there. He didn't have anyone open to throw it to. He didn't try to force it. He just pulled it down. He got what he could get, and he slid. That second base or third base? That was a smart move. Right here you see Glenn Montgomery putting the pressure on him.
I think it's first base.
First base.
And you know, you think back to that near touchdown to Brett Perryman. That would have given the Lions a 3-touchdown lead. Oilers come back, pull within 7. Chris Dishman shaken up, and timeout is called on the field, with the Lions ahead of the Oilers by the score of 24-17.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
3rd down and 4 upcoming for the Lions. Chris Dishman out, replaced by Tamor Barnes.
And Herman Moore over on Tamor Barnes. See if they go. Nope, they go the other way.
And they have the first down as Brett Perryman takes it out to the 24. Chuck Cecil on the stop. A gain of 12. Clock continues to run as we approach 5.5 minutes remaining.
It's interesting. Tamor Barnes really snugged up on Herman Moore, and Blaine Bishop played over. They rolled the coverage over to Herman Moore's side. Scott Mitchell goes to his left and complete it to Brett Perryman.
Gary Sanders works his way across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Gary Walker made the tackle after the gain of 3. Right now, Gary Sanders, Anthony, earlier today went over the 10,000-yard mark, 10th NFL rusher to do so, and he did it in 7 years.
Right there you have it.
Sanders on the day, 15 carries, 47 yards. Mitchell just gets it off, and a flag is thrown. 2 flags. The matchup you spoke about, Tamor Barnes and Herman Moore.
One-on-one coverage. And I really believe there's no question about it. The flags are correct. I'm surprised that Herman Moore still has his jersey on. You see the indication of the penalty?
Pass interference. Number 22 on the defense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the fall. First down.
Chris Dishman walking back on the field. You see right here, Herman Moore. Barnes on the coverage. See one hand on him, and then there was initially one hand on him, and then he comes over the back.
First and 10 for the Lions on the 39. In on Sanders looks to cut back. Well, it's been a busy 4th quarter for Tamor Barnes. Interception, fumble recovery, and then the pass interference call. At the end of the game, Anthony and I will select the Miller Lite player of the game. Many choices this afternoon, with Wayne Fonts and the Lions hanging on, looking to make it 5 consecutive victories. They win their final 3 games. They are in the playoffs next week. Lions host Jacksonville, and they finish up in Tampa. Today, this is Sanders tripped up. So 3rd and long upcoming. Gary Walker on the tackle once again.
Oiler defense is reacting quickly to when Sanders gets the ball. They're using their speed and their quickness. Their defense is coming upfield and reacting to the football. They're not giving Barry Sanders the big play.
But he is capable of breaking one.
No question about it. And he might go on, with no gain, 1-yard gain, lose a yard. You have to watch him.
3rd down and 6. Mitchell to the air. Incomplete. The intended receiver was Perryman.
That ball dropped. There was a couple receivers in that area that created a crowd, but the ball was off Perryman's hands. You see Morton, number 87, Tamor Barnes on the coverage. Now he's on the other side, and he makes the play on that one. Not bad coverage.
Will Mel Gray have an opportunity to return a punt?
with their game plan. It hasn't appeared, but you never know. He might have missed it.
Here's Gray from the 7. Out of bounds at the 19. Knocked out by Benny Blade's 12-yard return after the 50-yard punt by Royals, and a flag thrown. Flag back around the spot from which Royals punted.
Well, Gray might get another chance.
Holding number 34 on the kicking team. That's a 10-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Ron Rivers called on the hold. So they'll do it again with 3:01 remaining. First major opportunity for Oilers quarterback Steve McNair. He played briefly in an earlier game, 4 snaps against Cleveland. And despite the interception, McNair's done a good job at 1 point, completing 8 of 9.
And down 7, you hate to see that penalty and give Belgrade another chance to return one.
And this time Gray calls for the fair catch. Oilers will start out from their own 24. 43-yard punt by Royals. Well, Anthony, next week on Fox NFL Sunday, a crucial NFC Central matchup as the Buccaneers battle the Bears, plus other exciting regional action, followed at 4 Eastern by the Giants and the Cowboys. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. That's next week on Fox NFL Sunday.
Get an opportunity to see NFL football, not only NFL football, but NFC Central football up in Chicago. You think it might be a little cold up there?
Just a bit.
Nothing like going out and watching a game and maybe 20 below, huh?
You've had enough of these dome stadiums, right?
That's right.
And McNair's pass batted at the line. Robert Porcher, 6'3", stuck out the arm and knocked it back. Cowboys and the Eagles tied at 17, 2 minutes remaining. Should Dallas win, they would clinch the NFC East. Excuse me, Anthony, 2:57 remaining in the Dallas-Philadelphia matchup. McNair swings it out. This is Todd McNair, still on his feet, and the tackle was made by Greg Jeffries, but Todd McNair loses 4 yards, and the clock continues to run with 2:35 remaining.
Quickly, I was going to say about the Eagles, you think maybe that Seattle game last week woke them up. A little bit of a wake-up call. They were on a roll. They go out to Seattle and get beat.
Oilers with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 3rd down and 14. McNair over the middle. Derek Russell, terrific second effort, has the 1st down. If the Lions were able to make the original stop, he would have been held about 3 yards short. But Russell fights his way ahead for 16 yards. Oilers 1st down as we hit the 2-minute warning. Back at the Astrodome in Houston, Kenny Albert with Anthony Munoz, Steve McNair, and the Oilers with 2 minutes to try and tie it up. They trail 24-17. And the Oilers with the ball 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line.
Great opportunity for the young quarterback to be in this position. Not only does he come in today, completes his first pass, first touchdown pass, but here he is. 2 minutes left. They're down 7. An opportunity with Jerry Rome right there on the sideline, conducting and leading him, teaching him to try to score here and tie this game up.
And McNair is taken down. Mike Wells, his 1st sack of the season, 1st of his NFL career.
Mike Wells in there for Henry Thomas, giving him a break, and he's made his presence known when he's been in there for Thomas.
2nd down and 18. Eric Russell could not make the reception. Nice coverage by Corey Raymond, so it will be 3rd and 18 with 1:38 on the clock.
You know, Kenny, that throw had to be thrown in that area because of the coverage by Corey Raymond. If he throws that ball more into the center of the field, there's a good chance that Raymond picks that one up. So he had to throw it low and outside.
Low and outside, ball 2.
That's right. 2 balls here, they have 2 more chances.
3rd and 18 from their own 29. Steve McNair's first extensive playing time in the National Football League. And the pass is complete. Flag on the play. Chris Sanders out of bounds at the Lions 42. 29 yards, but let's wait and see the penalty call. And it is on the Oilers.
Jeffries pushing off. That's probably what allowed him to be so wide open.
Pass interference, number 84 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
There you see the fire that the young head coach of the Oilers is capable of having. Jeff Fisher. We'll take a look and see if we can see where Haywood Jeffries is called for pushing off. Steve McNair, plenty of room to throw that football.
Now that's Sanders, so this was away from the football, at least away from where the pass was heading. So 3rd and 28. McNair under pressure once again. There's Wycheck. Wycheck on the reception up to the 37-yard line, so it will still be 4th and approximately 10 yards to go.
Boy, that was a very heady move by Steve McNair. He pulls it down, but he doesn't pull down and run right away like a young quarterback usually would do. He pulls it down, he gets out of the pressure, and then he focuses his eyes back downfield, and he finds Frank Wycheck to pick up some of that yardage.
Yes, they gained 18, so it's 4th and 10 from the 37. McNair's numbers 13 of 20, 158 yards. All here in the second half. McNair out of the pocket. He takes a hit and throws it away. Tracy Scroggins came together with Steve McNair, and with 1:18 remaining, the Lions will take over, leading by a touchdown.
And there you saw the speed of Tracy Scroggins, number 97. They roll McNair out once again to get him better view of the field, use his speed out there. Tracy Scroggins making a smart move there. He maintains containment by not getting sucked into the outside or the inside. And once he sees that McNair's out there, he's not going to go back the other way. He turns it on, make the hit.
The Lions take over. Houston with all 3 timeouts remaining. Sanders. You know, Anthony, in all sports, we hear about players not losing their starting positions due to injury. In this case, illness. Chris Chandler sitting out the second half. We'll get back to this point in just a moment regarding Steve McNair from the Astrodome.
We've invested billions to help businesses grow and provided billions more to improve homes and finance educations. We developed special insurance to pay for nursing home care and low-cost life insurance for people over 50. Because at Transamerica, we sell life insurance, but our real business is improving your life. Transamerica, life insurance, leasing, commercial, and consumer loans.
Anthony, getting back to that point, Oilers with the Jets next week here at home. And Chandler, who played pretty well in that first half, suffering from mononucleosis. Is it McNair next week, or is it Chris Chandler?
Well, I think you look at one thing. Money paid to McNair. He's your starter. He's your future. You have to go with him. You've seen what he can do in game situations, so I think you have to go with him.
There's Sanders. And now the Oilers call their second timeout. Coming up next here on Fox, the NASDAQ postgame show with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy scores and highlights from Week 15 of the National Football League season, plus a look at the playoff picture. That's all next on the NASDAQ postgame report, followed by Skate International Championship Series featuring Canadian Elvis Stoico and American Michelle Kwan. That's the Skate International Champion Series.
This football team, speaking of the Oilers, last week they were close. They couldn't convert on the turnovers that their defense got. And this week, just too many turnovers by their offense.
10 turnovers in all, 6 by the Oilers, 4 by the Lions. Third down and 7. And Mitchell is forced down at the 31. The Oilers call their final timeout with 55 seconds remaining. It will be 4th and 5 for Detroit. And up next for the Lions, they will host the Jacksonville Jaguars next Sunday and then travel to Tampa Bay. Lions came in only 1-5 away from the Silverdome. Their only road victory in Chicago. 6-1 at home for Wayne Fontes and the Lions. There it is, Jacksonville next week, and then they visit Tampa Bay. If they win their final 3 today and then the next 2, they would make the playoffs for the 4th time in the last 5 years. And this will be a 49-yard field goal attempt by Jason Hansen. And Royals is taken down, so the Oilers will get another chance.
Just under a minute, and that is unbelievable. I cannot believe that.
And we saw special teams coach Frank Novak, the former Oilers special teams man. Bad snap. Royals could not control the snap from Mike Compton. Snap bounced in front of the hands of Royals.
It's like one of those when you're a youth, you do it to your buddy. You put it down, he goes to the kick, and you pull it up. Nice field position here. They still have a chance to throw something deep.
No timeouts remaining from their own 38. Pass is short, bounces in front of Haywood Jeffries, and a flag is thrown.
That was Robert Porcher, number 91, that put the hit on Steve McNair.
Holding call on the Lions.
Mistakes,
Holding.
Mistakes.
Number 31 on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Corey Raymond, the cornerback.
The story of this second half, second opportunities. Remember the near touchdown catch by Perriman, which would have given Detroit a 3-touchdown lead. Oilers come back, cut the lead to 24-17. Now with under a minute to go, 1st and 10, McNair airs it out and has a receiver, Derek Russell. 20-yard pass play from McNair to Russell. Clock stops with 41 seconds to go.
You're right. A game of second chances. Good protection by this Oiler offensive line. Right there you see Bruce Hopkins taking Antonio London around the corner, and you couldn't ask for a better pass from Steve McNair. We keep talking about his arm strength, how hard he throws the football, but that's a major, major league throw right there.
41 seconds remaining. Ball on the 36 of the Lions. Houston with no timeouts remaining. McNair jumps it off. Todd McNair, clock continues to run. down to the 27. Under 30 seconds to go. And you know, Jeff Fisher told us one of the things he is most concerned with regarding Steve McNair is game awareness. The play clock, communications, clock management. And here McNair with the final minute thrown right into the fire.
Well, it's one thing to run a 2-minute drill or a hurry-up offense drill in practice, but it's another running in a game situation. You have the noise, you have guys, you know, running around. It's more of a controlled atmosphere of practice. Sometimes if something doesn't go right, the coaches will interrupt and, you know, allow you to do it correctly right here. No way, you need to know what you're doing here.
McNair makes the catch, and he's pulled down inbounds. Down at the 12. Wow. Clock under 10 seconds. Lions taking their time as McNair grounds it with 3 seconds to go.
You would have thought that they would approach that line with more urgency. They just kind of got up there. They just have time for one more play. 3 seconds left.
End zone or bust for the Oilers.
That is very true.
Now
right there.
Here's a question for you. Should the Oilers score on this play, do you kick the extra point and force overtime or go for 2? Coach Munoz.
Well, since I have a rookie quarterback out there and I want to get him some playing time, I'd go for the tie and give him some more playing time in the overtime.
3 seconds to go. It's all over. Steve McNair falls just short. 16 of 26, 202 yards. But what an effort by the rookie out of Alcorn State, 3rd overall draft pick, as the Lions hang on and win their 5th consecutive game, 24-17 over the Oilers.
And Steve McNair comes on the second half as he purchases 40 tickets for people to watch him play and gave them a super show to watch this afternoon, just falling short of throwing a touchdown pass to tie this baby up.
The intended receiver, Derek Russell, back to wrap things up from the Astrodome in just a moment. Back in Houston, our Miller Lite players of the game, Herman Moore and Brett Perriman of the Lions. So Detroit wins their 5th in a row. They are now 8-6. Houston falls to 5-9. Lions over the Oilers by the score of 24-17. If Detroit wins their final 2 games over Jacksonville and Tampa Bay, they are headed to the playoffs. For Anthony Munoz, Kenny Albert saying so long from the Astrodome. Stay tuned for the NASDAQ Stock Market postgame report. Once again, the Lions over the Oilers, 24-17 from the Astrodome. This has been a Fox Sports presentation.